ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत न शृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। शारदा शारदाम्बुज वदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदास्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात् सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात्। सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयम् नमामि भगवत्पाद शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यम् केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। व्यासं वसिष्ठनप्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषम् पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातं तपोनिधिम्। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। चतुर्वदनो ब्रह्मा द्विबाहुरपरो हरिः अभाल्लोचनः शम्भुः भगवान् बादरायणः भगवान् बादरायणः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। We'll read the third sutra, the commentary of the third sutra. Page 55. Please repeat. शास्त्रयोनित्वा महद्ऋग्वेदादेहे शास्त्रस्य अनेक विद्यास्थान उपब्रह्मितस्य प्रदीपवत् सर्वार्थवत् सर्वार्थ विद्योतिनः सर्वज्ञकल्पस्य योनिः कारणं ब्रह्म न हि ईदृशस्य शास्त्रस्य ऋग्वेदादिलक्षणस्य सर्वज्ञगुणान्वितस्य सर्वज्ञा अन्यतः संभवस्ति यद्यद्विस्तरार्थं शास्त्रं यस्मात् पुरुषविशेषा संभवति यथा व्याकरणादि पाणिन्यादेः ज्ञेयैः एकदेशार्थमपि स ततः अपि अधिकतर विज्ञान इति प्रसिद्धं लोके। किमु वक्तव्यम् अनेक शाखा भेदभिन्नस्य देवतिर्यं मनुष्यवर्णाश्रमादि प्रविभागहेतोः ऋग्वेदाद्याख्यस्य सर्वज्ञानाकरस्य अप्रयत्नेनैव लीलान्यायेन पुरुष निश्वासवत् यस्मात् महतो भूतादियोनेः संभवः अस्य महतो भूतस्य निश्वसितम् एतत् ऋग्वेदः इत्यादि श्रुतेः तस्य महतो भूतस्य निरतिशयं सर्वज्ञत्वं सर्वशक्तिमत्तत्वं चेति अथवा यथोक्तं ऋग्वेदादिशास्त्रं योनिः कारणं प्रमाणम् अस्य ब्रह्मणो यथावत् स्वरूप अधिगमे शास्त्राद् एव प्रमाणात् जगतो जन्मादि कारणं ब्रह्म अधिगम्यते इत्यभिप्रायः। शास्त्रम् उदाहृतं पूर्वसूत्रे यतो वा इमानि भूतानि जायन्ते इत्यादि। किमर्थं तर्हि इदं सूत्रं यावता पूर्वसूत्रे एवैव जातीयकम् एवं जातीयकम् शास्त्रम् उदाहरता शास्त्रयोनित्वं ब्रह्मणो दर्शितम् उच्यते। तत्र पूर्वसूत्र अक्षरेण स्पष्टं शास्त्रस्य अनुपादाना जन्मादि केवलम अनुमानम उपन्यस्तम इत्याशंकेत तामाशंकां निवर्तयितुम् इदं सूत्रं प्रववृते। शास्त्रयोनित्वाद् इति Let me go through this sutra which we started. So we had seen that this particular sutra is one adhikaranam, and this is called Shastrayonitva Adhikaranam. Adhikaranam is one topic of the Vedanta is discussed. So you heard yesterday that the essence of this particular sutra is Sarvagyatam, Brahma Sarvagyatam Darshayati. So it confirms the omniscience of Brahman. The second sutra which you heard was for the Karanatvam of Brahman. Brahman is the Karan. And before going, I had mentioned before leaving that because of Karanatva, yaha yasya karta bhavati saha tasya gyaha bhavati. If somebody is the maker of something, it is the knower of that thing also. So, ghatasya karta ghatagyaha bhavitum arhati. Patasya karta patagyaha bhavitum arhati. Ataha sarvagyasya karta sarvagyaha bhavitum arhati. So, one who is the maker of all, he will be the knower of all also. So, directly when Jagat Karanam word was used in the second mantra, it was indirectly telling also about the omniscience of that Brahman. So, Brahma Sarvagyaha Sarva Karanatvat. Because of the cause of all, it is omniscient. Now, Nimitta Karan or Upadhan Karan. So you heard yesterday. Leave it. You don't see earlier. Just see what is this. Focus on it. So, this is I had mentioned that this is the Nimitta Karan. Because Nimitta Karan, Anu knows what has to be done. So, the omniscience of the Brahman, Sarvagyaha of the Brahman, is mentioned here not as the Jagat Karanatva, but the Veda Karta. The second sutra, omniscience, was mentioned as Jagat Kartritva directly, and in this sutra, the omniscience is mentioned by the Ved Karta. So he is Brahman is the material cause of the Vedas. Brahman is the material cause of the world was the second sutra, and Brahman is the cause of the Vedas is the third sutra. So second sutra, Brahman is the material cause of the Artha Prapanch, and in this sutra, Brahman is the material cause of the Shabda Prapanch. Okay, so this has been mentioned there. So supposing Brahman is the Ved Karta, How it becomes omniscient then? How it becomes omniscient? Please understand. So Bhashyakar says, Ved contains all knowledges. Vedas contain all knowledges. And because, what is the first line? First line, see, Mahata Rigvedadehe Shastrasya Anek Vidya Sthan Up Brahmatasya Pradeepvat Sarvarth Avadyotina. Avadyotina means Prakashak, illuminator. Pradeep means lamp. So, this Vedas contains all topics. So, Pradeepvat Sarvartha Dyotinah Sarvagya Kalpasya Yonihi. So, these Vedas are the one through which there is no topic which is left in the Vedas. And therefore, Vedas contains all the topics, they say. So Vedas is the Paravidya also in that is there, Aparavidya is also there. So, and therefore it is said here, see this is the point, Sarvagya Kalpasya. Kalpasya means like. It is like omniscient. Vedas are like omniscient. Yunihi Karanam Brahma. Is it clear? So Vedas contain all the topic. So Vedas that you see now is very little has been available in between. There has been low of much portion of the Vedas. Out of the 1,000 branches of Sam Veda, only 2 are remaining. So much Vedas have been lupt. Lupt means it not been destroyed, but it has been, I can say, lost, you can say, because the in between so many things must have happened. Somebody would not have taken that tradition forward because Vedas earlier papers were less. So there was a Shruti Parampara. Vedas were heard and given to another generation. So slowly, with the advent of Kali Yuga, the right person, Sakale Neha Mata Yogu Nashta Parantapa. So Bhagavan says, when the capable people are not there, the knowledge gets lost in between. Again it will come up. So, Bhashyakar, this line is very important. See what is written here. Mahata Rigveda Dehe Shastrasya Anek Vidya Sthan Up Brahmitasya. Upabrhindas means Vistar. Pradeepvat Sarvartha Avadyotinah Sarvakalpasya Yoni Karanam Brahma. Because Ved contains all the knowledge of all the topic, and therefore Vedas are considered to be Sarvagya or the omniscient. See, these 3 lines are important. I'm reading it. Don't miss the Bhashya. Although I'm not going to the Bhashya too much, I want to cover up faster. Nahi idrishasya shastrasya. Idrishasya shastrasya. Which shastrasya? Rig Vedadi Lakshanasya. So here Shastra means Vedas. Here Shastra word means only the Vedas. So Rig Vedadi Lakshanasya Sarvagya Gunanvitasya. See, this is where I am trying to point out. So this is Sarvagya Gunanvitasya Sarvagyat Anyataha Sambhavaha Asti. Na will go before Sambhava. So this Sarvagya of this Shastra, other than omnisciency, not possibility is not there. Okay, this is clear, I hope. And therefore Bhashyakar establishes that Vedas are Sarvagya. They had all the sciences which are in the work. So, now see this. Let's see what is written here. Next line. Yat vistarartham shastram yasmat purusheshat sambhavati yatha vyakaranadi paninyadehe. It is read, one who writes something, he knows more than what he has written. He has more knowledge of what he has written. So, yad vistarartham shastram yasmat purusha visheshat sambhavati. He gives the examples of Panini. Yatha vyakaranadi. Paninyadehe गेह एक देशार्थमपि सह ततो अधिकतर विज्ञान इति प्रसिद्धम लोके. So he makes a logical statement. The author of the work invariably knows more than the content of the work he has done in writing something. So if author has written 100 pages in a book, so it is clear that he will be writing more than what he is saying. So what is the rule? The rule is you can never express everything you know in a verbal form. You can never express everything. In the talks, etc., you will also see that all that you know, you are not able to express everything. You express only a part of what you have known. And therefore, expressed portion is always lesser than the known portion. The rule is, what is the expressed portion? See the line here? Sa tato adhiktara vijnanavan iti bhavati. Okay. So, yaha yasya granthasya karta sa tataha adhik jnanvan. One who writes something, he has more knowledge. So therefore, very beautiful example of Panini is given. That means Bhagwan Bhashyakar was very fond of Panini. Panini's time is around, I think, some BC or first AD. And 8th century was Bhagwan Bhashyakar's time. Okay, so the sutra which you have heard, Panini has the masterpiece of Sanskrit, which is Ashtadhyayi. There are 8-9 chapters are there, and which has 4,000 sutra, which you have heard some of them, which you must have forgotten. Ikuyanachi and all these, Shashti and all these things, Shashchoti. It is very, very staggering sutras are there. Still research is going on, and they are trying to get out more and more meaning from those sutras. They are called Maheshwar's expansion of Maheshwar sutras are there. Such is the work of Maharishi Panini. It's mind-boggling, staggering, if you have seen that. So that means what Panini must have written, he must be knowing more than that. This is the point here. If he writes only 4,000 sutras, it does not mean he knows only this much. He must be knowing more than what he has written. What is the rule? Expressed knowledge is always lesser than what is a known knowledge. He could not have expressed because of lack of time or lack of environment or lack of the students, whatever be the cause. See what a beautiful point Bhashyakar brings out. And anyway, Panini is not the topic, but imagine the Panini on Panini. Maharishi Patanjali wrote Mahabhashya. So you can imagine how big must be the great and glorious must be the work of Maharishi Panini, that today Bhashyakar is quoting him. See, Vyakarnade Paninyaha Paninyadehe Gye Ek Desh Artham Api Gye Ek Desh Artham Api. Well, this is only one part of what Panini must be knowing. Sa tatah api adhikatar vijnaneti prasiddham loke. This is well known in the world. And therefore, kimu vaktavyam? What to say? Anek shakha bhed bhinnasya. So, he is now telling about the Vedas. What is the Vedas? See, what a long compound. Deva, Tiryang, Tiryang means animals, Manushya, Varna, Ashram, Adi, Vibhag, Hetoho, where animals have been described, Devatas have been described, human being has been described, their Varna and Ashram has been described. Rig Vedadi Akhyasya Sarva Gyan Akar. Akar means ocean. Treasure. Anek Gyanakarasya. So that means the author of Vedas must be knowing more what is in the Vedas. This is, he wants to establish that. Author of Vedas. Veda Gyanat api adhik Gyanvan. Meaning here is, because he was knowing the Vedas, therefore he must be having more knowledge than what is written in the Vedas. So Brahma Sarvagya Kalpavat. Sarvagya Kalpavat Vyatirekena Asmadivat. So not like us. So because Brahman is Sarvagya. Why is Sarvagya? Because he is the creator of the Vedas. He is the maker of the Vedas. Okay. So Brahma Sarvagyam. How did you come to the Brahma Sarvagyam? Veda Kartrutvat. Because he is the maker of the Vedas, and therefore he is the Sarvagya. Please note, earlier sutra also indirectly told about the Sarvagyata by Jagat Kartrutvat. He is the maker of the world, and therefore maker of the world should know the world. But here, because he is the maker of the Vedas, and Vedas in themselves are omniscient, therefore that Brahman also should be omniscient. Okay, this is the point here. So this sutra is for the omniscience of the Brahman. This is for the omniscience of the Brahman. I hope this simple thing is not difficult to understand. Okay. Now, one incidental point has been taken into consideration. So, what is that incidental point? I will just touch upon that. He said that it is accepted that Vedas are Anadi and Apaurushi. You have heard this, that Vedas are not made by any person. Because if Vedas are made by any person, it will have 4 faults. Pramad, Brahm, Karnapatav and Vipralipsa. I am not going to describe, I have already described it many times. So these are the 4 problems. Whatever is Paurushaya means made by a certain karta at a certain place at a certain time. That is called Paurushaya. Like bulb is Paurushaya. TV is Paurushaya. You can say that his bulb was invented in this year. helicopter was invented in this year. It's called Paurusheya. So, what about now? The question has been raised that the Vedas are not Paurusheya. Why they are not Paurusheya? Because if Vedas will be Paurusheya, then Vidhi Nishedh will be absent before that. Then there is no governor of anything. And in previous Srishti, that means people were not doing any karma kand. No varnashram was there. So everything, that means no karma phal, because you have not formed the rules. Therefore you can't say you are wrong. To say you are wrong, there should be rule. Then only you can punish anybody and reward somebody. You can say, no, you are going on the wrong way of the traffic. Only when there are certain traffic rules. Supposing I say you are not following the ashram rules. So this is possible only when there is an ashram rule. Then only you can say he is not following. Supposing there is no rule, then you can't say that you are wrong. And you can't give punishment also. So if the Vedas were made at a certain time, that before that kalp, that means there was no varnashram, there was no doctrines, there is no rules. That means people cannot do good and bad. Punya Paap cannot be decided. Punya Paap cannot be decided. That means karma phal should not come. Karma phal should not come because there is no Vedas, therefore there is no right, wrong, therefore why you are giving the good and bad fruit of action? Why should you do that? In the office also somebody is rewarded because he did something what is expected of him, very good, therefore he is rewarded. But supposing there is nothing to be done, there is no rule that you have to complete this work, then there is no point of reward and punishment. But because at all time there was Devatas also, Manushya also, animals also, that means they got the fruit of action. And because they got the fruit of action, therefore there must be good and bad actions. And because there is a good and bad action, therefore there should be one manual or there must be some treatise which is telling this is right action, this is wrong action. Therefore Vedas are not Paurusheya. Even Ishwar has not made the Vedas. Following it. So therefore Vedas are called to be Anadi and Apaurusheya. This topic has been dealt earlier also. That means there was a time there was no mantras. Mantras were not there. Karma kand were not there. All what you are living is because of the Vedas. We don't know it. Supposing you are, say, Guru. So Guru has not been started by anybody. Vedas only have mentioned about the Guru, that Guru has to be Guru. Teaching has to be known by Guru only. Tad vijnanartham Guru meva vigachet. Marriage is there. The institution of marriage is in Vedas. We are unconsciously following the Vedas. Sannyas ashram, brahmacharashram, all are in Vedas. It is not that sometimes sannyas was not existing and after Shankaracharya Bhagwan, sannyas came. Don't get into these traps. Shankaracharya's Guru called Gaudpadacharya, Govindacharya, also the sannyasi. And Govindacharya's Guru called Gaudpadacharya was also a sannyasi. And Gaudpadacharya's Guru, Shukdev ji, was also a sannyasi. So nothing is starting that brahmacharya is starting. So ashram vyavastha has not started at any time. It was always there. Otherwise you cannot decide for the Vidhi Nishedh. And today's society says this is right and wrong. Actually it has come from the Vedic knowledge only. We practice some Vedas we don't know. Like Pitar Devo Bhava, Matar Devo Bhava. This has come from Vedic knowledge only. Acharya Devo Bhava, Tithi Devo Gava. Or Bhiksha is there. Bhiksha, sannyasi should live by Bhiksha. Brahmachari should serve the teacher. All that thing has come by Vedas. Later on, Puranas have expanded and expounded that. Like Kurvan Neveh Karmani Riji Vishechadagam Sama. Evam Tvai Nanyata Dosti Na Karma Lipyate Nare. अब this portion of Ishavasya is only one mantra. अब भगवान कृष्ण elaborated in 42 shlokas in say 3rd chapter of Gita. So the Smriti or Puran or Itihas, all are the big expansion of the Vedas. So whether ashram should be there, it is in the Vedas. The clothes of the sannyasi should be like this, that is in the Vedas. So don't think that Vedas were written by somebody, even it was not written by any Ishwar. No? Because if Ishwar writes the Vedas, that means before that Srishti, the Vedas were absent. Then who is determining what is right and wrong? Then you can't say Guru also were there. Then you can't say Moksha also was there. You can't say Updesh also was there. There was no talk going on. There was no Moksha. Everybody was bound. Then you cannot say, what will be deciding factor to say this is your dharma and this is a dharma? The karak of dharma and adharma is the Vedas. We don't know the importance of Vedas. And the Vedas therefore are called the Apaurisheya and they are Anadi. They are Nitya. So this question comes. Purupaksh raises one question. What is that question? He raises a question. You are saying that Ishwar has made the Vedas. On the other hand, we say Vedas are Apaurisheya and Anadi. How can Ishwar make the Vedas? Simple question is there. Not simple question. You are saying, you are proving the omniscience of Brahman by telling the omniscience of Vedas. Agreed. And you are saying the Creator knows more than the created. Agreed. So Ishwar must be knowing more than the Vedas. Fully agreed. But my question is that Vedas are not created. Everything will topple down. Everything will fall down. If you read Bhagavad, in the beginning of the Srishti only, from the mouth of Brahmaji, the Vedas were created. So how do you say these things, that Vedas are created? This is his question. See, therefore, all religions have acharyas. One uniqueness of Sanatan Dharma is, you should know what are the uniqueness of Sanatan Dharma. It is not acharya-based religion, not prophet-based, or not some Masiha had come. That means there was a time that religion was not existing. There was a time, supposing I say Christianity came in 1 AD, or 1 whatever is there. So before the Christianity came, there was no Christianity. Before the Christ, Christianity was not there. Then what kind of life those people were living there in Europe? Europe and where is it? Generally Christ lived in Europe, no? Europe and that place, what is it called? Jerusalem, where Palestine and Israel is. So that was his area. I ask you the question, when Christ had not come, that place was having people or not? Only yes. Then what religion those people had? What religion that people had? Then you have to say they had no religion. They must be nomads, or maybe tribals. Or before Prophet Muhammad came in Saudi Arabia, Islam came later on. Islam came in 6th century. So before in that area, what was the religion of the people who were inhabiting that place? And Bible was not there, Quran was not there. Then what will you say? What will you say? When Bible came, then Bible was Paurushya. It was absent at a certain time and it came after a time. So there was a birth. All religions are born from some great person or some acharya or some prophet or some Masiha. Somebody has been the starting point of that particular religion. But the Sanatan Dharma says that no Acharya was there who started Hinduism. And therefore it is called Sanatan because the Vedas were always ruling it. There are not time. How will you decide the right and wrong? How will you give the fruit of action if Vedas were not? Now the answer is given. I hope you understood the question. He is saying you are again and again saying Creator, Vedas created, Ishwar created Vedas. Then what is the answer for that? I am telling you. When I say Ishwar created the Vedas, it does not mean he intellectually created. He only manifested the existing knowledge. This manifestation is called creation as he is the Vedkarta. He manifested. So, avyakrit prapanchasya vyakrana srishti. So, that which was unmanifest, he expressed it. So, avyakrit vedan vyakritvan. And therefore, you read in Bhagavad that from Brahmaji's first phase, Rig Ved came, this phase, Ayurveda came. Okay. I hope this is clear. So here the topic is of manifestation of the Vedas. But one who manifests will know. Like I am manifesting my words, so I will know what I am manifesting. The manifester will be knowing the manifested. The manifester will know the manifested, rather he will know more than what is manifested. Every knowledge is unmanifest form. Every knowledge is in unmanifest form, and the knower of that unmanifest form, when he manifests, is called creator of Vedas. So manifestation of Vedas is mentioned by the word as creator of Vedas. Okay. Is it clear? This is the, what shall I say, general analysis you can say of these sutras. I have already touched upon that. Now we will go to the Vishayavakya. What is the statement in the Upanishads? Vishayavakya means which statement is being validated by Bhagavan Vedavyas. Which statement is being validated by Bhagavan Vedavyas? Where is that statement which you are expounding? I only told bring Mantra Pushpam, and I only have not brought it. So give me the Mantra Pushpam. You open Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad 2.4.10. See, on the top is written Adhyay. So 2 and Brahman is 4 and Mantra is 10. 2.4. .4.10. That is called Maitri Brahman. Sa yatha, you got it? Sa yatha ardrehi adhaidhyagnehe abhyahitat. Mila? Didn't get it. Sa yatha 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th verse, you see. So, what is said here, I will say in short. Brahman is revealed as Srishti Sthiti Laya Karanam. In these mantras, Brihadaranyaka I am taking in Vibhuti. Vibhuti, Brihadaranyaka is being taken in April. Okay. How much I'll complete, I don't know. 21 days is the camp. 21 days. If you go, who will select the classes here? So many classes you are doing here. This was in my mind that you all should come in here because it is important to hear Brihadaranyaka. See, now he is quoting it. If you don't know this, you will not know. So what he gives 3 examples. This Upanishad gives 3 examples. One is called Srishti Karan is Agni Drishtant. Like from the Agni fire comes, the smoke comes or the, what is it called? Flames comes. Smoke comes out. Similarly, Srishti has come out from that Brahman. So Brahman is the cause. Then second is Dundubi example. Dundubi means drum. Drum. So Dundubi example, that means sustenance is there. That Dundubi sustains the sound. So this Srishti is sustained by the Brahman. That is called Sthiti Karanam. And third is Samudra Drishtant, Laya Karanam, like the rivers get dissolved in the ocean. That is the Laya Drishtant. But then what is uniqueness of this mantra? The uniqueness is very big uniqueness is there. What uniqueness is there? Uniqueness is there that in all other Srishti statements, Brahman is said to be the creator, sustainer and destroyer of the world. Yato vaimani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti avisambhishanti iti. But in the 10th mantra, what I have just shown to you, Brahman is not told as the creator of the world. It is told as creator of Vedas. Veda Srishti Karanam. See the mantra here. Sa yatha ardreihi dhagnehi abhyahitat prathak dhumaha vinishcharanti evam. Like the smoke is coming out from the fire. Are asya mahato bhutasya nishwasitam. Similarly, the breathing of the God is the Veda. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sam Veda, Atharva, Angirasa, Itihas, Puran Vidya, Upanishadaha, Shlokaha, Sotrani, Anuvyakyanani, Vyakyanani Asyava, Etani, Nishwasitani. Is it clear? You got it or not? You didn't get it. Page 92. You got it? You got it. So you also see. You can tick somewhere. You can tick it. This was the last 2.10, 2.4.10. That shlok you tick it, that mantra. 2.4.10. Now, there is one word here given. See, Itihas word is there, Puran is there. So, Brahma Sarvagya. So, this is the Vishayavakyam. Vishayavakyam is what one Veda Vyasa is telling. And if you see why I am going it, see the Upanishad, the Bhashya, Asya Mahato Bhutasya. See the Bhashya. See the Bhashya, 56th page, 4th line. Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishwasitam Etad Rigveda. Imagine they all. See the Bhashya, he quotes this mantra in the Bhashya. Bhagavan Vedavyasa did not tell from where he is writing that. Otherwise, our work will be very difficult. Here in Bhashya, 4th line you write, you see Bhagavan quotes. You saw that? Okay, this is the Nishwasidam, means this is the breathing of the God. Breathing of the God. Asya Mahato Bhutasya, of this Ishwar, Nishwasitam Rigveda Ityadi Shrutehe. This is called Nishwasit Nyaya. Why it is called breathing? Because breathing, two things are there. Through breathing you know the person is alive or not. So through Vedas only you know that there is a God. And second thing is breathing is very effortless. Breathing is effortless. So creation of Vedas is effortless for God. You are not aware of your breathing unless you have asthma. You don't, well, I am tired of breathing. Whole day I had been breathing. Okay, then you stop for some time. If you can't stop, others will stop. I am so tired of breathing, I can't tell you. Breathing is effortless. So, two things. From the breathing, you have Anuman that the person is alive. So, from the Vedas, you have the Anuman that God is existing, Brahman is there. And effortless is the creation of the Vedas is effortless. So, Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishwasitam Etad Rigveda Ityadi Shrutehe. So, what is the conclusion? Brahma Sarvagya Shastrasya Nimitta Karanatvat. Astasya Mahato Bhutasya Niratishayam Sarvagyatvam Sarvashakti Matvam Cheti. So, this is the last line. Of this Ishwar, Sarvagyatvam is mentioned by making it the Vedkarta. Vedkaran Ishwar. Vedas are not made by any human beings. There was nothing called, there was a time when Vedas were not there and somebody wrote Vedas. Nobody wrote Vedas. Vedas are not the Kriti. They are not made. They are Shruti. They are heard by somebody. Okay. So this is the Vishayavakyam. Vishayavakyam, yes. Which statement of the Upanishad has mentioned this? This is, he has quoted here. I hope this is clear. Now, we will see the word meaning of that. there are two words. One is Shastra, and that is Yoni. So you know both the words are very simple. This is a compound. So Shastra means what? Shastra means that entire bhag, Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa, that is called Shastra. Shasanat Trayate and Shamsanat Trayate. That which protects by what? By commandments. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chala Vedamanucharya Ante Vasan Manushasti. So, that which commands. And Shansanat means that which establishes, reveals. So, Shastra has two parts. One is the Vidhi Nisheth part. So, what has to be done, what has not to be done, you can't decide by your own self. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vivastitau. Gyatva Shastra Vidhanoktam Kam Karma Kartum Iharasi. So, Gita has very hard, he said. He said, what should be done, don't you think. Shastram Pramanam Te. How brahmachari should live, Shastra will say. How grahas should live, Shastra will say. How sannyasi should live, Shastra will say. Shastram pramanam te karya karya vivastitau. Okay, how to read? In which aspect of the Shastra I am the qualified student? Because Shastra says 100 million things. There is where you need the Acharya. There is where you need somebody to tell where I am qualifying for that, which portion of the Shastra is for me and which portion of the Shastra is not for me. So therefore, Shastra without the teacher is like a big jungle, you get lost. So this is like Aranyam, you will be lost because so many instructions are given, that you will be totally frustrated if you start following all the instructions. You cannot understand what it is not, you cannot follow it in short. So many instructions, but each, like the medicine pharmacy is there. Hundreds of medicines are there. Every medicine is not for everybody. Everybody is meant for some specific medicines. But what I am doing, I should be knowing where in Shastra it comes and how am I qualified to follow it or I am not qualified to follow it, and which aspect of the Shastra am I fitting into. Or what is my main dharma? Chalo, nitty-gritty, let us leave it. What is the main dharma as per the Shastra of a grahastha? What is the main dharma of sannyasi? What is the main dharma of the brahmachari? What is the vanaprasthashram? So only Shastra will decide everything. So this is the commandment. Commandment means do it, where Bhagavan will be talking in imperative language. Vad, char, matadeva bhava, lot lakarist. That is called the commandment. And Shansan means it will reveal the truth. That is another part of the Shastra is there. Okay, so don't just quote scripture without knowing where it comes. Or somebody said something. Some people sometimes talk. I say, where? Show me where it is. Where it is said. Show me what you are talking about that, where it is said. Which reference it is said. Who is the adhikari of that, what has been said. Okay. So somebody was there in Calcutta. He said, don't you think Manusmriti is redundant? I said, show me which part you are talking about. Show me. I have read Manusmriti. 20 years back only I read Manusmriti. You show me which part you are talking about. Then they are totally quiet. Without reading anything, they talk here and there. That is not right. So every if you go to And please therefore, Swatantrena Anveshanam na kuryat. Shankaracharya Bhagavan says in the Mundak Bhashya, don't read the scriptures independently. You will get thoroughly confused and maybe you will misinterpret certain words also. If you read Shiv Puran, something else is written. Abhay, that is Adhikari, is different for that. Vishnu Puran, Vishnu Ji is greatest. Shiv Puran, Shiv Ji is greatest. Devi Bhagavad, Devi Ji is greatest. What are you talking? And then foreigners come, other religion people. They say, in your Hinduism, there are so many scriptures. We have only one book. Therefore, you all get confused. So, it is just like saying that in my religion, only one medicine is there. We have so many medicines for different people. Okay? And it is elaborated at a certain. But at a specific time, in a specific place, that depends what dharma is yours. That depends on desh kal vastu. Follow the spirit of the dharma and not the sometimes direct words of the dharma. Supposing I say that the sannyasis are supposed to live by bhiksha. This you will hear in the Shastra. Okay? And you are living in America, manlo. Ab America, that system is not there that you can go from house to house and take bhiksha as you do in India. Police will be called. Bhiksha, their intended meaning is, never take the vachyarth. Intended meaning is, you should not be holding the things personally. Intended meaning is, don't hold things personally and keep money with yourself. Rather, depend on God for your food, shelter. This is the meaning of bhiksha. This is the lakshyartha of bhiksha. So even if somebody is giving the food, that is called bhiksha. But bhiksha is not for grahastha. Bhiksha is for sannyasi. For grahastha it is prasad. Intended meaning is, you should not keep personal money like grahastha does. Like you have an account, like I earn money and I am cooking food and I have already stored a lot. So the aparigraha portion that you are not storing, you are depending more on the Lord rather than you are holding a things and securing yourself for the future. Don't live this life. This is the intended meaning. But at certain desh kal, this is practiced differently. When you are somewhere else, then you can go out and ask Bhavati Bhiksham Dehi. I mean, the ashram is there, people will come and give you. So that is also called Bhiksha. So, to read the Shastra also, always take the spirit of that and not the letters only. If you follow the letters verbatim only, you will get mad. You will get mad. Because the intention is to follow the spirit of that. Okay? At Desh Kal, certain thing has to be practiced. And therefore, some people got allergic with the religion also. Because the person whom they saw were practicing, it was found as non-practicable. It is found as you cannot practice it. And it became distant from the ordinary person. It became quite far away because he said, I cannot practice all these things. You are talking something which is unpractical, non-practical things you are talking about. Okay, one more I will give you the point. One more point. Just because you deal with it and you have to live with it, therefore you have to. At certain point it will be said that brahmachari should be away from the woman. There are Ashtavidha Maithun is there. And 8 kinds of there, in which talking is there, seeing is there, don't see, don't talk, right, this is there. Now in the system which you are living into, this is impractical, non-practical. So what is the intended meaning? Intended meaning is number 1, as far as possible don't touch. Other point is, as far as possible, no need to revel mentally into anybody. As far as possible, don't have the habit of gazing any woman, or woman should gaze at a man. For a brahmachari, I'm talking of that. If you start taking the main meaning, you should not talk, you should not see, then simply you will be out of the system. That system is not existing today. So you have to keep a distance as much as possible, but you have to interact at times, keeping yourself safe. I hope you are clear towards the Shastra meaning. Don't take the literal meaning. Literal meaning you cannot take. And those people who took the literal meaning, they became almost aloof from the society. They couldn't work. You can't do Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga you can't do. If you want to meditate somewhere, you can go in some seclusion and you can choose wherever is wanted. But when it comes to serving and working, so you cannot do that. You cannot work like Swami Vivekananda. You cannot work like Swami Shivanandaji. Okay, they also lived. They didn't live in seclusion. Their life was very active and very dynamic life. Tapojanji's life was not like that. But these people who demonstrated the Karma Yoga, I'm not saying they were Karma Yogis, they demonstrated the Karma Yoga. They had to live with all sorts of people. Okay, so don't just pick up something and try to follow that. It will tend to, it will be difficult for the others to live with. And you also can't live, and others also can't live with you. So that is the Shastra portion. Shastra should not be read independently. You have to go through it, find out what is the meaning there. And I am repeating it, please take the spirit more and not the literal meaning is there. Okay. It will be written, if you read Shiv Puran, those who don't offer jal to Lord Shiva, they go to hell. That is the Shiv Puran aspect is there. The intended meaning is those who don't do puja, they will be in trouble there. Some puja you are supposed to do. And Shivji is Guru Roop. So Guru Bhakti is mentioned in Shiv Puja. We will see in Shiv Puran if sometime God wants. So Shastra is a very technical word. It is a very descriptive word. It is not everybody's cup of tea to just see the Shastra. It is just opening a medical book and trying to seeing the medicine which is suitable for me. Supposing you have a stomachache and you are opening a medical book and you are trying to find out your own medicine without going to the doctor. And therefore many medicines have written, please consult the doctor before taking it. In the medicines there is a wrapper. From the practitioner something is written. So if you choose whatever you will, then you will choose as per your likes and dislikes something. And will create a problem for yourself. Okay, you won't know what exactly it is said. What is the intended meaning? I can show opposite of that also what we have to say. So Shastra is a very, very wide word. When we are too immature to learn by ourselves. देखो, पूर्व मीमांसा also has to be known by a acharya only. Okay, I decided my own puja. No, you cannot decide your own puja. So this is one meaning of that. And yoni means nimitta karanam. Yoni word means nimitta karanam. So Vedas protect from sansar in two ways. They purify by Purvamimamsa and they illuminate by Uttarmimamsa and makes you free from the world. So yoni means nimitta karana or karta or author. So Shastra yoni means what? Being the author of the Vedas. Being the author of the Vedas. This is a simple meaning of the Shastra yonitvat. So you are proving the Brahma, the Sarvagyatvam of the Brahman by telling that the Shastra has come from the same Brahman. This is the short. More we will see. Last portion, Sangati, etc. We will see it tomorrow. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.